Hello everyone. In this lesson, we will learn about comments. Here's a quick overview of what we will cover. So first, we will answer the question, what is a comment? Next, we will answer the question, can I disable comments? And finally, we will answer the question, what is comment moderation? Okay, so let's go through these one by one. Without further ado, let's begin with what is a comment? Alright, so here we are on the home page of my website, and before I show you what a comment is, I think there's a good chance you're already familiar with comments. Because if you've ever used Facebook or Twitter, you know that when you post something, your friends can leave comments on that post. Okay, and that same concept of commenting on posts exists in WordPress. So for example, if I use my main navigation to go to the travel blog archive, and then if I click on this trip to the Midwest post, from this trip to the Midwest detail post screen, if I scroll down towards the bottom, you will see this leave a reply area. So within this comment field box, I can click to place my cursor there and then begin typing. So I can say, this is an amazing post. I love it. All right, and now finally, to submit that comment, I can just click this button down here. And now, whenever someone visits the detail screen for the trip to the Midwest post, if we scroll down below the content, here we see that comment that I just left. Now, because I'm currently logged into WordPress as the admin or the owner of this website, it was very easy for me to leave a comment. I only had to fill out the one single text field, and then with one click of a button, my comment was added to the website. However, most comments you receive will not be from yourself, they will be from other people. So now, let me open up another web browser. Here we go, and in this browser window, I am not logged into WordPress, right? So notice that there's no black admin bar across the top of the page. So this is what the general public will see when they visit my website. So now I will try to leave a comment as a stranger or just a random visitor of the website. So I will click on travel, and then I will click on trip to the Midwest. I will scroll down to the bottom. Here I can see the comment that the administrator left, and if I scroll down further, here is a form that strangers or just random visitors of the website can fill out. So first, they will type out their comment. The sky is blue and this post is excellent. Thank you for writing it. All right, but if I scroll down a bit further, we see that there are a few other fields that strangers or random visitors will need to fill out. So because they are not logged into WordPress, we will want them to provide a name for themselves. In this case, I will just say that my name is John Doe. We also want them to provide an email address. In this case, I will say that my email is johndoe@johndoe.gov. And then the website field is not mandatory. So I can leave that blank. And then I can just click this post comment button. All right, and here we can see that comment. And there's one detail that I want to draw your attention to. This message that reads, your comment is awaiting moderation. What this means is that currently, John Doe is the only person that will see this comment on this trip to the Midwest detail post screen. The general public at this moment in time will not see this comment. The owner of the website or the admin will need to approve this comment before it gets truly published so the entire world can see it on this post. So for example, if I open up yet another web browser on my computer, so here we go, and in this window, I am neither the admin or owner of the website, nor am I John Doe. So pretend that this window is just another random visitor of the website, and if I go to the travel page, and then click on the trip to the Midwest post, if I scroll down to the comments, you can see there's only just the one comment from the admin. So again, in order for the entire world to be able to see that comment from John Doe, an administrator of the WordPress website needs to review and approve that comment. So let's do that right now. So let me jump back to this window. So you'll see that at the top of this window, there's the black admin bar. So this is the window where I'm signed in as the admin. So if I click on this link towards the top left, that will take me to the WordPress admin dashboard. And let's look in the left-hand sidebar for comments. So here it is about halfway down. Let's click on that. All right, and we see 2 comments. WordPress highlights the comments that are awaiting moderation in a beige background color. So for this first comment, we see that it was created by John Doe, and it reads, "The sky is blue and this post is excellent. Thank you for writing it." Now, while my cursor or mouse is hovered over any part of this top comment, these options here will appear. So in this case, I want to click on this first option to approve the comment. But if someone left you a really mean-spirited, foul comment, or if they left you a spam comment, we will talk more about spam comments in a couple of minutes, you could click either trash or spam. But again, in this case, I will click approve because this looks like a very nice, kind-hearted comment, so approve. And now, if I jump back to my other web browser window, where I was pretending to be a random stranger, and if I refresh this page, again, this is the Trip to the Midwest detail post screen. So if I scroll down to the bottom, now we see 2 thoughts on Trip to the Midwest. This is the comment we created as the administrator, and here we see the comment from John Doe. All right, so that was a quick overview of what a comment is. At this point, let's change gears a bit and now answer the question, can I disable comments? Right? Because comments can be great. They can allow discussions to emerge organically on your website. But comments are not for everyone, and comments are not for every website. In a lot of instances, comments will appear unprofessional. Comments may just not fit with the mood of your website. So first, let me show you how to disable comments on individual posts, so on a post-by-post basis. And then after that, I will show you how to disable comments for all posts going forward. Okay, so for our first example, let me go over to the travel page, or I should say the travel category archive screen. And instead of Trip to the Midwest, let me click on Trip to the East Coast. So if I scroll down, here we see the leave a reply area where I can create a comment. And let's imagine that I want to disable commenting just for this particular Trip to the East Coast post. But maybe I don't want to disable commenting on my entire website. So in that case, what I would do is head over to my admin area, click on Posts. Here is Trip to the East Coast, so I will click on that. And currently, if I scroll down towards the bottom of this page, in the left-hand column, I do not see a comment or discussion box. However, if I scroll back up to the top and click on this top right Screen Options menu, so click right about here, all of these new options appear, and now we see this discussion option with a checkbox. So go ahead and check the checkbox for discussion. And then you can click Screen Options again to close that menu. And now if I scroll down towards the bottom of this page, here we see a discussion box. So the first option is Allow Comments. Let me uncheck that. And the second option reads Allow trackbacks and pingbacks on this page. So the question is, what is a trackback? What is a pingback? Well, in this example, if another website on the internet linked to my Trip to the East Coast post, and then someone clicked on that link from their website over to my website, WordPress would create something that almost looks like a comment, but is technically considered a trackback or a pingback, and it would basically just list the other website that linked to my post. Now, you're free to leave that enabled, but 100% of the time I uncheck this box. I never leave trackbacks and pingbacks enabled on my websites because personally they seem tacky, they seem spammy, because I have no control over who's going to link to content on my website, and I don't want to list a bunch of random references on my posts. Anyways, the key point here is that we're unchecking the Allow Comments box. So let's scroll back up and click Update to save this post. And now, if I use this link to go back to this post on the front end of my website, if we scroll down to the bottom, we see that that reply area to create a comment is completely gone. It disappeared. All right, so that's how you can disable comments on a post-by-post basis. Next, you might be wondering, what if I want to disable comments for my entire website? So I don't want anyone to be able to leave a comment on any page or any post. Let me show you how to set that up. So again, let's use this link to head back to the admin dashboard. In the left-hand sidebar, towards the bottom, let's hover over Settings, and then within the pop-up menu, click on Discussion. Okay, now these first three options are the ones that we are interested in. So here we can see that these are the default settings. These options will be used whenever we create any new post in the future. So for example, let's uncheck this option first. So it reads, allow people to post comments on new articles. So if we uncheck that box, now any post we create from this moment forward will have comments disabled. We can also uncheck this option. So now any post we create from this moment forward will have trackbacks and pingbacks disabled. And then while we are at it, we can also uncheck this option, and that way our website won't attempt to create trackbacks or pingbacks on other people's websites. So with these three options unchecked, let's just scroll down towards the bottom of this page and click on this blue Save Changes button. All right, so now any post we create from this moment forward will have comments disabled. However, I do want to point out that if you are trying to disable comments on your website entirely, these three options will not take effect retroactively, meaning any blog posts that I created in the past, before I unchecked these options, those blog posts will still have commenting enabled. So for example, if I click on Posts in my sidebar, and for example, if I click on Easy Spaghetti, this Easy Spaghetti post is one that I created in the past, long before I just updated those universal comment settings. And so if I scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see that it still has Allow Comments checked. So I would need to uncheck those boxes and then click Update. So long story short, if you are creating a brand new website and you know right away that you do not want comments, then one of the very first things you do when you get your WordPress website should be to go into Settings, Discussion, and uncheck these options. If you do that right away when your website is still brand new and you haven't really created any posts yet, you'll be in a great position because then any posts you create from that moment forward will have commenting disabled. All right, so we just reviewed how to disable comments. Now let's change gears and talk a little bit about comment moderation. So we actually already covered comment moderation a little bit earlier in the lesson. So if I jump back to my admin area and in the sidebar, click on Comments. Remember, this is the screen where we can hover over a comment and then either approve it or unapprove it or mark it as spam or send it to the trash. All right, and anytime we perform one of those actions, that's an example of comment moderation. We are moderating the comments. That's really all there is to it. It's pretty simple. But I do want to show you a few settings that you can change to fine-tune commenting on your website to meet your preferences. So in the left-hand sidebar, towards the bottom, if we hover over Settings and then click on Discussion, I want to bring your attention to this portion of the screen. So it reads, before a comment appears, and then we have these two options that we can check or uncheck. By default, only this second one is checked. So it reads, comment author must have a previously approved comment. This is the default option that WordPress gives us, and I think it's a great option. So 9 times out of 10, I just roll with this setting. Basically, once we as the administrator approve a comment from someone, then anytime that person wants to leave another comment on our website using the same email address that we already approved, they are free to do so. We don't have to approve any of their comments in the future. I think this is a great option because it frees up our time as an admin. So once someone leaves a decent, respectable comment on our website, we can trust them a little bit. So then in the future, we don't need to babysit them. When they submit a comment, it just automatically gets published. But if you want to retain full control over which comments appear on your website, you can uncheck that option and check this box for all comments must be manually approved. On the other end of the spectrum, if you're a fan of chaos and anarchy and you just trust people implicitly, you can uncheck both of these boxes and then anyone in the world can leave a comment and have it immediately appear on your website. Personally, to me, that option seems a bit extreme, a bit risky, because the internet is not always a nice place, and people might leave really foul comments that might tarnish the brand of your website or the brand of your company. But that's totally up to you, so feel free to check these boxes based on your own personal preferences. Personally, 9 times out of 10, I think that this default setup is a good way to go. All right, now let's change gears a little bit. Remember earlier in the lesson, I promised that we would talk about spam comments a bit later on. So let's cover that now. The question you might have is, what is a spam comment? A spam comment is not a mean-spirited comment or a troll comment. A spam comment is a comment created by a robot that was programmed to scan the internet for websites that allow comments and then automatically leave pre-created comments that don't make any sense, that have links to other, perhaps malicious websites, right? So it's just like a spam email. The villains of the internet create spam email robots that send out spam emails to millions of people. All right, well, those same villains create spam robots that leave spam comments on every website. Now, spam comments are a big reason that I leave these options the way they are, right? So I don't want all comments to appear on my website because 99% of comments are spam, created by spam robots. Now, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, great, did I just inherit a full-time job? Do I need to constantly be on the lookout for millions of incoming spam comments on my website? Well, luckily, the answer is no. Now, that's actually going to bring this lesson to a close, but in our next lesson, we will learn about perhaps the biggest plugin in WordPress history. There is a plugin named Akismet that will block about 99.9% of incoming spam comments. So in our next lesson, we will learn how to install and set up Akismet, and we will shut down those dirty, filthy spam robots once and for all. Should be a lot of fun. Let's keep rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.